Previously on Flirting with Death.
The best thing about adventure is uncertainty. You go on a plan and the plan sorts out itself on the way. I started on a monkey trip around the Gulf, somehow ended up with a monkey trip from Dubai to North Cap in Norway. It's June 26, so the weather is hot, it's humid, very difficult. The wind was unbelievable, and to add to this, I ran out of fuel. This is where I found that the fuel consumption was going really crazy with wind against you. The storm kept on going, even through Qatar.
Flirting with Death is brought to you by Old Timer Middle East for motorcycle parts, accessories, apparel, protective gear, and modifications. Old Timer, leave a trail behind.
I kept going until I reached Doha and checked into a hotel and met some friends there that were following the trip and decided to stay one more night in Qatar just to take a break. I stayed there, met these guys, went around for rides in Doha, and the second day, again, I moved that night towards Bahrain.
All right, so I'm moving out of hotel. It's around 10 actually, 10 something, and we are heading to Bahrain. I'm meeting Mr. Talal Kawari, and he's gonna take me all the way to the border. So the weather is not that bad, which is a good thing. Much better than morning. Today to Bahrain, Manama. From there, Kuwait, Jordan, Iraq, and Turkey. نعم نعم منامي على البحرين ان شاء الله يعني.
So the guys again accompanied me close to the border. And I left from there, went out from Qatar and headed to Bahrain.
So it seems plans don't work with this bike. I am not able to make it on time. I don't know, my calculations are wrong. I have to stop too many times to rest, and I'm not making progress. Now at the gas station, I'm gonna have a drink and see what to do. Still 190 to go.
Just early morning before, while I was in Saudi, because you need to go back to Saudi to reach Bahrain. I was looking down. I always look around, listen to the bike. I look down and I see my shoes full of oil. I couldn't figure out initially where it was coming from, and so I kept on riding until I figured out it seems a stone hit the oil cooler and they broke it and it started leaking. At this point, the leak was not that big, so I said I will live with it. I will just top up. I had some extra oil, so I'll top up the oil and keep going.
Sleeping from here, this thing. Okay, I have some kind of solution. Let's see. I will try. Jerry work. Let's see if that works.
So I worked on the bike. I tried to use something called JB Weld. It's something like epoxy that's for metal. I had a lot of people stopping and asking if I need help, and they were really friendly.
السلام عليكم. هلا حياك. لا تحاول والله وجهي. لا ما في شيء بس ظهري. رادياتر كراك تاع التليفون. راكب بدون ربط مع الفايبريشن شيفت كسر. اوكي.
بس ان شاء الله الامور طيبه، نمشي حالنا بس البحرين ونصلح حالنا.
تقدر تمشي حالك يعني ومحتاج
معي
اي
زيت
حاجه او
زياده،
شيء؟
الله يخليك حبيبي.
اكيد
تسلم اكيد.
So I put the JB weld on there. I tried moving that, didn't help because it turned out this thing needs around 24 hours. There are better options, but I couldn't find any that cures in like 15-20 minutes. This thing needed 24 hours. So that wasn't gonna work.
So as expected, plan A didn't really work. It's still leaking. This damn jig went like 24 hours to set, and I don't have 24 hours.
I kept going and the leaks started increasing. So I decided to cut off the oil cooler, completely cancel it. And I had a plug to stop the oil from flowing into the oil cooler because we were expecting issues. Yeah? So I plugged that, the oil cooler was out, but I had now the problem of heating up, which I solved by stopping every 35 minutes, 40 minutes to cool the bike down. I kept going on to Bahrain through the Saudi bridge. Now the bridge was closed for a long time, but it was open for motorcycles a couple of years ago, but I was not sure if they're gonna let me go on the bridge with a 125cc motorcycle. Luckily, it wasn't that hard. They let me in. And I went through Bahrain and had some friends there waiting for me to fix the oil cooler issue. So went to these guys, went into their house is more of a workshop, and we started down working on the oil cooler.
So just arrived to Bahrain and directly down to it. With our friends here. We're going to remove the radiator. Now we're also expecting the grade of the oil we used is the reason the clutch got burned.
We couldn't find, of course, an oil cooler for a monkey, that's the same. So we decided to go out looking for an oil cooler. We found an oil cooler that's used for a gearbox of I think it was a Land Cruiser or a Patrol, Nissan Patrol, for the gearbox. And we thought this oil cooler was bigger, so we thought it's gonna do much better in cooling. But to be honest, I did not calculate this properly, and this is gonna bite me back when I'm in Turkey, making this oil cooler large. It was a mistake, but at that point it looked like a great idea. So we put on the new oil cooler, we changed the oil, we put new oil. Second day I left Bahrain heading to Kuwait. So again, went through the bridge and went back to Saudi. So I met a friend in Khobar, took a break there, spent some time with him. And from there, I continued my road to Kuwait. Again, the heat was unbelievable. It's getting worse, and Kuwait is known to be really, really hot. So I kept riding through the night just to try and reduce the heat issue. And I arrived to the Kuwaiti border at around 8 o'clock in the morning. Keep in mind, I've been riding 20 hours a day, you know, with a GS or with a KTM or a big bike. I could cover the same distance that I do in 24 hours in probably 6 to 7 hours. So this was an issue, and it was always extended riding time. So I reached the border of Kuwait, and on the border, I went to get the visa because as a UAE resident, you can get the visa on Kuwaiti border directly. You don't need to apply for it. And I was shocked to hear the guy say that 2 days ago, Kuwait has stopped all visas to all tourists. Not sure what was the reason, but he said you can't go into Kuwait. Luckily, the guy in the passport control was a rider as well. So he had a bike, he went out, he saw the monkey, he started asking questions, he got engaged. And with this engagement, he wanted to help. So he started picking up the phone and calling people all over the place. He called his superiors, he called this guy and that guy and that guy.
It took around a couple of hours, but he managed to get me in and give me a visa to enter Kuwait. He told me the only issue in Kuwait is that the highway has a minimum speed of 80, and my bike wasn't going over 65 at that time. So he told me just be careful because they might stop. Went to Kuwait, and of course the temperature started showing 52 and 53. It was crazy hot. And I went through all the way to Kuwait City, where I checked into a hotel. And in Kuwait, I have a lot of friends. So I spent a couple of days in Kuwait with these guys, seeing them, going around with them and so on. They were the whole trip, everybody was so generous and so helpful. And they really took care of me in Kuwait. So it was time now to leave Kuwait. Of course, the decision was to leave at night again, because especially with the heat of Kuwait, it was a must. And my target was to go from Kuwait to Saudi, and then from Saudi to Jordan.
حسام وين رايح؟ على الأردن. جاي منه من دبي بعد. يوصل؟ إن شاء الله. دبي. جيت من دبي لقطر، قطر السعودية، السعودية البحرين، بحرين السعودية، السعودية الكويت، الحين الكويت السعودية الأردن، الأردن العراق، تركيا وبرد. الله يحفظك. خليك يا رب. ما تشوف شكرا. Alright, so we're out of Kuwait, heading to Saudi border. Let's see.
So the distance from Kuwait City to Amman in Jordan is around 1,400 kilometers, which is next to impossible on a monkey in one day. It is impossible actually. There's no way you can do this 1,400 in 24 hours.
In the next episode of Flirting with Death,
people are driving at speeds of 160, 170, and they won't be able to see me or stop in time. So I had to stay on the right side, which was a disaster. That day, I think, was one of the longest days in the trip. I rode for 24 hours non-stop. I started hearing some strange sound on the bike, and I stopped looking around, and it seems the chain got stretched because of the heat and the continuous riding and the weight